Hey guys, it's Ivy. Welcome back to my channel. It is about 1 week after my 3-day grape fast finished, so I just wanted to check in with you guys and let you know how it went. If you have been following my channel, you know that I have done several fasts in the past. Everything from water fast to fruit fast to just total body raw food cleanses to flush out my digestive system. But this is by far my most random and unplanned fast. I literally just ate a plate of grapes one day and then decided that I was going to do a grape fast and went to the store and got started within 2 days. So I didn't really plan it. I didn't really research grape fasting or the benefits. Obviously grapes are good for you, and all I knew is that grapes made me feel good and I wanted to have that feeling more. It's the end of spring, beginning of summer, and grapes are on the market right now, and more specifically seeded grapes are on the market right now. I love to get seeded grapes when I can, and I literally just had a plate full of them one day, and once I was done I just felt this feeling of contentment. You know, a lot of times when you eat a meal you have that itis or food coma and you're just sluggish and tired and you need a nap, or you may feel some type of overstimulation, super hyper, ready to do something like work out, whatever caffeine does for some people. And those are both kind of excess responses to food, whereas my grape fast just yielded this sense of satisfaction. It was pure, it was clean. I wasn't overly full, but I was completely satisfied, and I just felt this light feeling of happiness. And I said, yes, I want more of that. I've also been taking a personalized herbal protocol for healing and cleansing over the last month. I specifically had some heavy metals to detox and some other things that I needed to work on within my body. So when I thought about doing a grape fast for a few days, it just made sense because fruit is just the best cleanser for the body. Fruits cleanse the body and vegetables heal and restore. All of the herbs that I've been taking recently have been pulling heavy metals out of my body and detoxing me in different ways. And of course, grapes are great for the lymphatic system. So there's no doubt that they went in and did some flushing of my system. That was likely very needed. Because my fast was unplanned, I really did not document it like I wish I would have. And I also did not really do research on the benefits of grape fasting, but I did know of grape fasting from Dr. Robert Morse. I would highly suggest anyone who is interested in doing a grape fast or any type of fruit fast to go check out his work. He's got several lectures on YouTube talking about fasting, cleansing. I think he calls it regenerative detoxing. But like I said, I did not research that in detail before my fast. After my fast, I definitely looked into grape fasting a lot more just to learn like how it can be beneficial to your body. So I would also highly suggest you looking into the book called The Grape Cure. It is a very old book. I'm planning to get it and read it over the next couple of months myself in preparation for my next grape fast. I will probably do a 7-day fast. If I had really planned this fast out, it would have likely been 7 to 10 days because I do feel like that is how you're going to get the most benefit from grape fasting. However, if all you can do is 3 days and you're interested in doing it, definitely do it because I did see results and I am grateful for those. Grapes are really a complete fruit. They are full of structured water, completely structured by nature, so you're getting that perfect hydration in your body. They digest into the body very quickly, so the minerals and vitamins within grapes are getting into your bloodstream without a lot of hard work to digest. To recall my 3 days, on day 1 it was literally a breeze. It was like any other day. I just had grapes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and had lots of water, and I was good to go. I was happy. I did get hungry in between meals, so like I said, grapes don't take very long to digest. So even if you do feel content after a meal of lots of grapes, that feeling of fullness will dissipate quickly. So that was a little bit challenging, and it was also challenging because I bought some chocolate that day. I just so happened to be at a store and they had one of my favorite chocolate bars on sale, really low, and I just could not refuse. So I happened to have that chocolate in my house from day 1 and I knew I had it in the back of my head. So that was a challenge. Day 2 was easy for the most part, but I did start getting a headache towards the end of day 2. Headaches are not normal for me, so I know that that was the detox process beginning. The next day I felt pretty good in the morning, but day 3 was by far the most difficult to get through. I did start feeling a little shaky, and I also felt slightly nauseous, especially towards the evening. So the evening was a little rough to get through on the 3rd day. I know for sure my body was detoxing, and the fact that I've been doing a heavy metal cleanse for at least a month now, it makes sense. I'm sure there is some debris within my body that may have been pulled out of my cells but still needs to be fully flushed from my body. So I already know that I was detoxing. It was difficult to get through, but I made it through. In general, I just feel like with all of the fasts that I do, day 3 is usually the hardest for me, especially a water fast. It's like day 1 and 2 are just hungry, but you're okay. But day 3 is like, but then you just plateau into this nice phase after day 3 or 4. So I do feel like had I gone longer, I would have been fine, you know, the next day or after the 5th day of fasting on grapes. But with any type of fast you do, it's really mind over matter, and it's very challenging to detach from the sensations that are going on with your body, the healing symptoms that come up, and they can be so vast and so different that it can feel a little scary and uncomfortable sometimes. But yeah, I just did 3 days, so it was not super hard. I think one of the biggest benefits for me was really just having my time. Being vegan and someone who is very focused on what goes into their food, eating can be kind of stressful for me, especially when I'm busy. This is definitely a period of my life where I need a lot of my energy and attention to myself so I can focus on making different changes in my life. So not having to figure out what I'm going to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day made my life so much easier. I would fast on grapes or one fruit longer just to have the benefit of not having to figure out what I'm gonna eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, and also have to cook it and buy the food and wash the produce and this and that. It's a lot. And I love the process sometimes, but there are certain times in my life at least where I could use that extra energy and attention to funnel it into the projects that I'm working on within my life, and now is one of those times. So let me go into the benefits or results that I experienced from my 3-day grape fast. Number 1, and I think most people would love this, is that my waistline slimmed down. I did not even check my weight before and after because I literally don't care. I'm thin, I'm probably always gonna be thin. Weight loss was not a big result that I was looking for, but a trimmer waistline, a more fit looking waistline is always a benefit, especially for me because it is an area of focus for me. And like I said, this fast was not even about anything other than just contentment to begin with. So I wasn't looking for a trimmer waist, but I did notice on day 4, which is the day after my fast ended, I just got dressed and I was looking in the mirror and noticed that girl was looking right. I was looking amazing from the side, and it was just a pleasant surprise and obviously a benefit that I'm sure anyone would enjoy after a fast or cleanse. The second benefit is something I know that most women would appreciate. I do want to make a confession first, and that is that I am a skinny girl who has cellulite.
Say what?
Yes, it does happen, and unfortunately my thighs do have cellulite, and it's not the prettiest thing, especially to me. But I did notice 1 or 2 days after my fast was over, I just happened to be walking around in underwear and caught a glimpse of myself in my full-length mirror, and I noticed that my thighs looked smoother. Don't get me wrong, a 3-day fast is not going to get rid of all of your cellulite, ladies, and depending on how severe your cellulite is, you may not notice a difference. But I definitely felt like my thighs looked smoother, and it was just kind of interesting to catch that glimpse because of recent months, I haven't been the most pleased with my thighs. I could definitely change that by working out more, so fingers crossed that I will get my life together in that way. But it was nice to not have had to work out rigorously for months and months and months to see a change in the cellulite in my thighs. And I hope that if you fast on grapes for any period of time that you notice that for yourself if you do have cellulite. As I had mentioned, grapes are one of the most amazing lymphatic cleansers, and that would make sense as far as the look of cellulite reducing. But another thing that I noticed as a result of my 3-day grape fast is that I got some bumps here on my arm. I will show a picture of these later. I just so happened to be rubbing my arm one day this past week, and I was like, what is that? It just felt so rough, and I looked down and I had all these little black dots, and it looks like there was just like a colony of blackheads on my arm, and that really freaks me out because I've never noticed that on myself. So I'm 100% sure that this came as a result of this 3-day grape fast. I also looked at this arm. There weren't as many on my left arm, but there are some here, and they're still here even though it's been almost a week since I noticed them. So I do feel like my lymphatic system was purging in this area because that was not there before, and I would notice a rough spot on my arms. Like, what? Grape fasts are great for any type of skin conditions. If you have acne, psoriasis, dermatitis, scalp issues, anything that arises on your skin is your largest organ, and underneath that is your lymphatic system. So if there is an issue with your lymphatic system, you will likely see it on your face, on your skin, somewhere on your body. The last result that I wanted to talk about was not the most positive one, but it was significant. 2 days after my fast, I woke up with this very scratchy phlegm in the back of my throat, and it persisted for, well, it's still actually going on. It's still present. At first, I was concerned because there is a global pandemic going on right now with a scary virus, and I actually was planning to fly air travel that day. I had a flight at 9 a.m. that morning, and I woke up at 6 a.m. with scratchy phlegm in the back of my throat, a little bit of coughing, and a little bit of stuffiness in the nose, but there was just a lot of mucus coming up from my throat, and I did not feel comfortable flying. One, because I didn't want to affect other travelers if there was something going on, but also I didn't want to put myself at more risk, so I called and pushed my flight back one day. After about 3 hours, my throat felt perfectly fine, and I just regretted canceling my flight. I went to bed expecting to fly again the next morning. Woke up the same way the next morning, coughing, there was scratchiness in my throat, there was phlegm, and I had also just been pulling up more mucus from my throat that whole previous day, even though I felt fine. So I canceled my flight again and pushed it back 2 more days instead of 1. And I just said, hey, let me just see what's going on. I just didn't want to risk it. I didn't want to put other people in danger. So I waited 2 more days. The 3rd day and then the 4th day, I didn't wake up with any scratchiness in my throat, but there's still been phlegm or mucus. I don't know what the difference is, but there's been some mucus coming up from my throat every day that I'm just having to spit out. And it's clear, there's no color to it, which leads me to believe that it's not infectious. I do feel like the phlegm and the scratchiness in my throat was really just my body detoxing and releasing some waste. There are detox symptoms during fasting that come in a variety of ways. They can be very unplanned, and they can be uncomfortable and just confusing. And this one is one of those, as well as this patch of bumps on my arms. That concludes my experience. I definitely plan to do a 7 or 10 day grape fast in the future just to really get the benefits of it. And I really enjoy grapes. Grapes have this unique quality about them that when you eat them, you just feel happy. And who couldn't use more happiness in their life? And if you can just eat something all day, as much as you want, and it makes you happy, how blessed, and why would you not? If you do plan to do a grape fast, I would highly suggest eating black, purple, and red grapes only. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, and the more potent the power within it. For the most part, I was eating red seeded grapes and dark black grapes. I did buy 1 pack of green organic grapes because I couldn't find enough of the red grapes that day. Another thing that Dr. Robert Morse talks about is doing a grape and lemon juice fast, juicing your own grapes and then adding some lemon to them. So I may try that in the future. With my grape fast, I ate the grapes for the first 2 days, and then on the 3rd day I juiced all of my grapes. So I had 3 meals of juiced grapes, and those were 100% black grapes. Let me tell you something. If you want to feel pure joy, get some organic black grapes and juice them. That is the sweetest thing you will ever experience, both taste-wise but also energetically. It is amazing, but it is also very cleansing. And the juice from those black grapes. I do feel like it was a game changer, and I can see why Dr. Robert Morse would suggest doing lemon juice, because lemon is an astringent, grapes are an astringent. They are together a powerful lymphatic system cleanser. If you have done a grape fast in the past, definitely leave your experience in the comments below. And if this has inspired you to do a grape fast for the first time, definitely let me know in the comments below as well. As a side note, last year I did a 3-day watermelon fast. I highly suggest a watermelon fast as well for a great flush of the system, an internal cleanser. Amazing for hydrating the body, especially during these hot summer months that are to come. And bonus is that seeded watermelons are on the market right now. I'm gonna leave the video link for that right here, so definitely check that out. Like this video, give me a good thumbs up, and subscribe for good vibes. As always, be whole and be well, and I will see you in the next one.